Hi guys, welcome to the Deep Breathe. I'm Ezra,
I'm Gary.
and today we're going to talk about the 10 things we've learned since quitting Kratom. So, Gary, tell us a little bit about your connection with Kratom in the past.
Yeah, so I didn't even know what Kratom was, and then I started drinking it a few months ago with Ezra here. And I loved it. It made me feel really good, and I looked up some stuff about it, and it was medicinal in the East. They use it for medicinal purposes. And I started increasing my intake more and more, and then I accidentally started withdrawing from it, and then I realized, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. So it's been about 3 weeks now since we've been off of it.
3.5 weeks since we've stopped.
Like-
I've had Kratom on and off for about 8 years. It's very popular in my city of St. Pete, Florida. There's kava bars everywhere that serve Kratom, and it was such a normal. It was just a way to kick back, relax. I was always a nighttime drinker, and it just kind of put me in a relaxed, euphoric state. And I think over time, my brain just needed it. Like I couldn't produce that dopamine on my own for a little bit, but we'll get into that as we go along with our 10 things. So Gary, start us off with number 1.
Okay. The one thing that I've learned is that, or the one thing that I've noticed, I should say, is that I'm more clear and connected to myself. So my brain is more clear. I feel like I can think better. I feel like I'm more connected to not just myself, but to other people and other things. I feel less emotional. And so that's been, since I've been off of it. And so that's been really great.
Okay. My first thing is what I noticed mainly from my cleansing of Kratom, getting off of Kratom, was that the emotional pain was the most intense withdrawal symptom, meaning that I felt really depressed and really low emotionally for days, and it would come and go, and I would feel depressed out of nowhere. And I learned that was my number one withdrawal symptom from coming off of Kratom, was that sadness and that deep depression feeling out of nowhere. So that's what I learned.
Yeah, and that goes right into my number 2, which was I feel way more emotionally stable now that I'm off of it. When I first went off of it, I was an emotional mess. I was sad. I cried every day for a week. And so that's when I really noticed that I'm like, this stuff is wild. There wasn't really anything going on in my life that would have caused that, except for withdrawing from Kratom. And like I said, it was an accident. I didn't even mean to quit it. I just, less than 24 hours, I was experiencing withdrawal symptoms. So.
Okay. My second reason, or number 4, is that I feel more connected to nature and natural sources of dopamine, meaning I went to the beach a couple weeks ago. I think it was after a week of quitting, and I just had my headphones in. I was playing in the water and moving my hands in the sand, and I just felt I wasn't drinking alcohol there was no substances of any kind, and I felt so present in that moment. So I think since taking myself off of Kratom over the last 3 weeks, I'm more connected to nature and just the beauty that is all around us at all times.
Yeah, and me too. I've been with you a lot of those times, the beach times, the going to the park, and it has helped.
River.
So the river, oh my gosh. I've actually been out in nature more in the past 3 weeks since being off of Kratom than I have in a long,
and doesn't it feel more you're more in it?
Yeah, I feel
there's a screen lifted away.
Exactly. That's what I mean by the clarity. It's been amazing. The other thing that I noticed is it affected my appetite in a really not good way. I've heard kava bars say that one of the benefits of drinking Kratom is losing weight, and that is true. It was true for me because I didn't want to eat, and it totally messed up my digestive system. I didn't want to eat anything, and so when I came off of Kratom, it's been 3.5 weeks. I'm slowly starting to get my appetite back.
Good.
Which
Does
has been
food
really
taste
good.
better? Do you notice a change in
that's a good
taste?
question.
Because sometimes when your appetite's not food isn't as exciting overall, but maybe
Food isn't as exciting for sure. Like I don't think I've noticed a change in like flavors of food.
Okay.
I'm just not in the mood for it. I just don't want any. Nothing sounds good.
since coming.
Yeah, when I was on it and then coming off of it, and I'm still having a little bit of a struggle with that, but it's getting better. Like I'm hungry and I want to go eat.
Good.
So
Okay. So we'll go to my third thing, or sixth thing is, I put this down as sobriety from Kratom is kind of a different thing, which I kind of mean by that, like, people say that, sobriety means different things for different people. I think mainly it's not drinking alcohol, but I consider myself sober while still drinking, a double or 2 doubles of Kratom every day, and fully taking myself off that is teaching me really what a sober lifestyle is, or of something that's just substance free, because I do think Kratom does fill that kind of hole a little bit and gives you that dopamine like a substance would. So I think I'm learning about really what sobriety is like off of Kratom in a way, and it's been great.
Awesome. Yeah, and that kind of goes into, since you talked about that, it kind of goes into my number 5, which I have been sober from alcohol and drugs for a little over, or it's going to be almost 2 years in September. And so I guess what I didn't realize, or I kind of justified it to myself, was that Kratom actually is a drug, and I have an addictive personality, and so it wasn't good for me to drink it no matter how much I justified it. And so and I treated it as a substance, which means I did it because it made me feel good, and then I was increasing my intake up until the point where I was drinking it 10 to 20 grams every day. It was getting to be every day. So
you also finished yours very quickly and immediately wanted. That was my sign that you're kind of.
Well, that's how I drank alcohol.
Yeah.
I drank it very quickly. So
There's something about Kratom though where it's hard to drink it fast for most people. I mean, you can't really. I mean, you could chug a thing of beer, like chugging Kratom. I've seen one person chug a double in about 5 seconds. They just downed the whole thing. I was like shaking. I was like, this is just not easy to watch.
Yeah.
Moving on to mine. That was your.
I have one more, but I
Okay.
just let it. I just led
Uh-huh.
into that one based on what you said.
So mine is that I can still socialize at kava bars without drinking Kratom and still engage in the social scene there and create there and be a part of it. I think it's a great atmosphere that's not alcohol focused, and it is a nighttime thing. I mean, we don't have to go sit at a bar even during the day. Like, it's a fun way to be around people in a like-minded setting that are creative and interesting. And I do think the kava bar scene, especially in Tampa Bay area, is like kind of the not misfits, but it's just kind of a quirky crowd. Like, we're just not like everyone else. Artistic,
kind of
yeah.
Spiritual, artistic.
Artistic, fun. So I think it's great to still be a part of it and not drink Kratom, and there's tea and coffee and other things, and it's still a loving, caring environment that is great to produce anything in. If you're working from home, if you're meeting friends just to hang out, it's a great environment. And I think even if you're not drinking Kratom, you still can easily still go to those places.
Yeah, I totally agree. We actually just came from drawing at a kava bar.
Yes.
And we both I had a tea and you had a coffee. So I agree. It's still a great place to hang out, and it's sober, and they offer other things to drink than kava and Kratom. And then my only other thing, which kind of goes into my, with my last thing, which is it is insidious. Like, I guess I didn't realize how much I was increasing my intake, and I didn't realize how it was affecting me until I actually quit. And again, like, I didn't even mean to quit. It wasn't even 24 hours and I started feeling really shitty. So
I think we saw that. I was like, Garrett, we need to stop that. Like, if it's
Yeah.
making you feel that way just within 24 hours, like, this is not a smart thing for us to keep
Right.
doing, and making it even increase after that.
Well, you were the one who was like, I think you're having Kratom withdrawals. And I was like, really? It hasn't even been 24 hours. And you were like,
You were
yeah.
saying how you were depressed and crying out of nowhere. I'm like, that
Yeah.
sounds like a depletion of dopamine in the brain
Yeah.
feeling that way because you're not giving it that dopamine.
Yep.
Okay. So our last thing, number 10, that I had is, on a positive note, it gets better every day.
Yeah, it does.
What did I write down? I said, they say it takes 30 days to fully quit a habit. I am, at this point, we're really close to that. And it's feeling better every day. After 8 years of drinking Kratom, it will take time. And I think that's the thing. I think my chemistry, my biochemistry, my physiology was so altered by this substance, and I think it takes time for your brain to kind of see how things are after not receiving that for a while, and
I agree.
it's better every day.
Stay with it. You're strong. You've got this.
Yeah.
Reach out to us if you need any help or have any questions.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. Hi, friends.
Bye, hi friends.